Yeah, hello and welcome to the other side.
I've been enjoying these trips very much.
Oh, you have you? Well, that's good. And thank you for your feedback. It's very encouraging.
We're beginning to sound like Oprah Winfrey here.
You're right. We must move on to Paris, 1889. An English mother and her daughter got off a ship from India and booked into a local hotel. They got 2 single rooms, and after both signing their names in the guest register, they went upstairs.
Do they have hair dryers in the room?
It was 1889. The mother was placed in room 342, but as she soon entered the room, she became ill, very ill.
Oh, what did the daughter do? She was all alone in a foreign country, destitute with a word of French.
That's right. You've been reading my bibliography.
Yes, not too bad, Warwick.
Well, I wrote it myself. The hotel doctor examined the mother and then talked to the manager of the hotel. They seemed very excited, perhaps even agitated. The girl managed to make out that they needed a certain medicine which was at the doctor's surgery on the other side of town, and it was her job to go and get it.
But how could she? She didn't know the city, had no money, and the carriage she would have had to take would have been incredibly slow.
That's right. 4 hours later she returned. She rushed into the foyer and said, "Come in, Mamma Mia."
Wow! What does that mean?
Well, you don't have to be a genius to work it out.
Huh?
How is my mother?
Oh, how was my mother? And how was she?
Well, the manager looked at her blankly and said, I don't know who you're talking about, but you arrived here alone.
Whoa! But that was a lie! What about the guest book? They both signed in
The girl's signature was there, but above it was the signature of a total stranger.
What about room 342? The murderer must have been there.
Gone. No sign of her. And the room was totally different. Different curtains and colours. A totally different brand of peanut butter by the minibar.
The hotel doctor?
He denied anything ever happened.
I don't believe it. What did she do?
She returned to England and lived very unhappily for the rest of her life. What really happened to the mother, you may ask? One explanation was that she had caught the plague in India, and the hotel management got rid of her to stop a panic breaking out. But what about the body? And could they really have redecorated the room in a mere 4 hours? The mystery remains a mystery on the other side. Come, we must go.
I'm really blown away by that story, Warwick.
Howdy ho. Well, there's plenty more where that came from on the other side. Hello, we hope you're enjoying the show so far, but now it's time to visit the other side.
That would be my favorite place.
Have you ever thought how good it would be if you could be in 2 places at the same time?
Yeah, I have.
Look, you don't have to answer everything I ask. Sometimes I throw questions here and there for people to think about. I'm speaking rhetorically, okay? Not to constantly be interrupted. You've ruined my flow now. Where was I? You can answer that.
Oh, people, same place, same time.
Oh, yeah. Madame Sage was a Russian school teacher. She was working at a girls' school when people began to realise things were rather odd. There appeared to be not 1, but 2 Madame Sages. At times, one Madame Sage would be writing on the blackboard and another would be sitting facing the class. 2 pupils once saw her indoors and at the same time picking flowers outside.
That's incredible. So she could sort of make an image of herself and project it to wherever she wanted it to be. Right?
You seem to have hit the nail on the head, my young pupil. After some time, the governors of the school got fed up and demanded to know what was going on. Yes, she said, it is quite true that I can project an image of myself by simply putting mind over matter.
Hey, we talked about that last week, man.
Indeed we did, and the truth is that it's such an interesting area, we could talk about it every week for the rest of eternity. Tut.
Sorry, were the governors impressed with her powers?
No, they sacked her. She was chopped down for daring to be different, daring to stand out from the crowd. She was sacked for being herself.
Well, herself and the other self.
Right. You know, the two of them were sacked for being an individual.
Well, for being two individuals.
You know, you're really beginning to get to me.
Well, it's lucky there ain't two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Isn't that strange? Hello, and again, welcome to the other side.
You know, you're building up quite a following here, Warwick.
I am I? Well, people talking about me at the water coolers, are they then?
Many, many, many people.
Good, it's a start. Then I'm expanding minds and getting people to think deeply.
What are we looking at today?
Today, I ask you this question. Do plants have emotions?
Why, of course not.
Well, within the past decade, several researchers have reported that plants do know who their friends are and actually react to threats, going as far as to faint in the presence of very dangerous people.
What's a dangerous person from a plant's point of view? A serial leaf puller?
Lee Baxter, an American lie detector expert, attached one of his little polygraph machines to the leaves of a plant and saw to his surprise that it reacted in exactly the same way a human would when exposed to some sort of emotional stimulation.
Oh, please, Warwick, tears, whole bag of emotions, oh, please.
Hoping to find other reactions, Cleve considered burning the plant, and as soon as he thought of it, there was a dramatic upward sweep in the tracing pattern of the polygraph.
Whoa, hang on a minute. Are you suggesting that the plant could read his thoughts?
Well, it gives us something to think about, doesn't it?
I mean, the evidence is pretty weak here, Warwick.
You great fool, you trod on a leaf. You really should watch where you walk sometimes on the other side. Step on a twig next day. Massacre of plants, eh? Hello, and welcome to the other side. To anticipate your eager question, my little student, today I'm going to talk of nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes. Warwick, I'm 53 years old, man.
But never too old to learn, I hope. The origin of many nursery rhymes is unclear, but the majority can be traced back as far back as the 17th century back.
I'm gonna need an example here, Warwick.
Ring Around the Rosies is believed to date back to the Great Plague. If you ever had the plague, the first symptoms would be a rosy red rash. Just work out the last line of the song, and you'll see it makes sense. A tissue.
We'll fall
We
down.
all
Whoa!
fall down, that's
Mark,
it.
I get it. They all fall down from the plague.
Precisely. Some nursery rhymes are based on old superstitions from days gone by. For example, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick.
Well, what was all that about?
Jumping over a lighted candle was an ancient method of telling fortunes in medieval England. If the candle stayed lit, good luck was forecast. Ask Monty the weatherman. If it went out, bad luck would follow.
Well, sure, especially if your butt was on fire.
Well, get on with it.
Well, so what you're saying is that even simple nursery rhymes really aren't as simple as they appear to be.
That's right. You must always look deeper. Finally, it must be said that nursery rhymes are universal. Humpty Dumpty appears in France as Belay. And in Denmark as Lily Trilly. And in Finland as Hilarion Caesarian Fuba.
Surely, Warwick, as these rhymes pass from generation to generation, from country to country, their meaning must have changed a little.
Oh, indeed. And now we are coming to my final point. Humpty Dumpty, as we know him, is not the Humpty Dumpty of 1,000 years ago. We're looking at a fraud. Whereas today, the last line is, couldn't put Humpty back together again. 1,000 years ago, it was, who was Humpty Dumpty?
But we all know Humpty was an egg.
Precisely. There's no point in having a riddle that everyone can answer, right?
So Humpty has no place on the other side?
No, Humpty Dumpty does not belong on the other side.